Hey, Family Farmhouse here. So I wanted to take a minute away from doing the farm chores to come in, and my wife started this series called "Conquering Satan's Lies with God's Truth," and she did a video, and she has some friends doing one. So I wanted to do one too. I thought, what the heck, I'll throw one in there, and just kind of talk about ways this past year that I thought that I was conquering Satan's lies with God's truth. I thought I was walking in the truth of the Lord, and how Satan snuck in there anyway and lied to me. So, as you guys know, we're in foster care. We have adopted a little girl. We've had some videos about that. Well, there was one point last year where we had 8 kids here. We had 5 foster kids and our 3 kids. And so, we thought we were doing great. We knew that God wanted us to be in the foster care system. He wanted us to take kids, and we felt like, man, we're doing that. We got 5 foster kids. We're doing great. We're loving them. Things are going good. So we felt like we were in this great place with God, and we were just following His truths and following what He wanted us to do. But Satan snuck in there, and he snuck in with me by using just protecting my family. He used that as an avenue to get in. And there was a point where we were being investigated by DHS for somebody made an allegation on one of the kids, and we were being investigated. And somebody came over here, interviewed us, interviewed our kids, and even talked about the possible outcomes of our kids being taken away. And that really shook me to the core. Satan really got me right there, and without even knowing it, I kind of turned away from the truth of God. We're here in 1 Samuel 12 says, "Only fear the Lord and serve Him faithfully with all your heart, for consider what great things He has done for you." So I forgot that. I wasn't fearing the Lord anymore. I was fearing DHS. I was fearing the foster care system. I was fearing the caseworkers. And I wanted to get out of the foster care system. I wanted to get away from it. I wanted to protect my family. I've talked a little bit about this before. And I felt like the only way to do that was to get out of foster care. So all of a sudden, I'm not fearing the Lord anymore. The thing that He put on my heart and my wife's heart to do, foster care, that mission that we were on, all of a sudden, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm turning away from that. I want to do what I want to do, right? I want to protect my family. I want to protect my kids. And I felt the only way to do that was to get out of foster care. And so I, called up the caseworkers, said we didn't want to do foster care anymore. We needed to move these kids. I was tired of the system. I didn't want to be a part of it. And so we went very quickly from 8 kids to 4, our 3, and then the little girl that we eventually adopted. And for a period of time, I felt like, okay, good. I protected my family. We're getting out of the system. Everything's okay. And then we went to, Disneyland and this great trip to celebrate getting out of foster care. And God spoke to me and spoke to my wife and said, I don't want you out of foster care. I never wanted you out of foster care. You wanted out of foster care. I didn't want you out of that. And so I just felt this huge, just like, oh man, what did I do? Regret about what had happened, months before. Me being afraid, telling caseworkers I didn't want kids anymore, so causing damage to kids, right? Kids that were in our home. No, I sent them away. I sent them to different homes. So there's more trauma for them, and I did that to them, and I have to live with that, and that's regret. And I know that God can forgive me for that, and I hope He does. I know He does. But even now, we're back in the system, and now we're open. We're wanting kids, but now there's caseworkers out there. There's GALs out there who are saying no. They sent kids away. We don't want to give them kids. They weren't. That's not being a family. They weren't a family to those kids. And so we're facing just repercussions of not following God, being afraid of anything. Satan lying to us, Satan lying to me, saying that the only way I can protect my family is to get them away from the mission God wanted us to be on, which, isn't that ironic? That's the mission God wanted us on. Satan didn't want us on that mission. And so he got to me by, well, you can't protect your family if you keep doing this, so you better get out of it. And I believed him, and I listened to him, and I didn't even know that it was him until months later when I was like, oh man, that was Satan. Another verse that I wanted to bring up really quick. Proverbs 8:13 says, "The fear of the Lord is hatred of evil. Pride and arrogance and the way of evil are perverted speech, I hate." That verse really speaks to me, just because I was prideful and arrogant, thinking that I could protect my family. Well, let me get out of the mission that God wanted us to do to protect my family. I can do that. Well, that's prideful. That's me being arrogant, saying, God, you can't protect me if I'm doing what you want us to do, so I need to get away from you so I can protect my family. I can't protect my family. The only way that my family can be protected is by trusting God, by following God, and by believing his truths, 2 of which I've read today, and there's a million more in the Bible. Just about fear alone, there's so many verses about fearing the Lord, fearing God, trusting God. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And even knowing that, and even thinking we were doing that, Satan still snuck in there. And I didn't even know it, by saying, in foster care, I can't protect my family. They're going to take my kids away, so I need to get out. Which is exactly what Satan wanted. We had 8 kids here. We were teaching them the Bible. We were talking to them about Jesus every day. Satan got rid of that. He got those kids out of here. He got us isolated, which at that time we felt like that we couldn't go anywhere with 8 kids. We would go to church on Sundays, but that was it. Our church has city groups. We wouldn't go to one of those. We felt like, well, we have 8 kids. Nobody's set up. Nobody wants 8 kids coming over. So we isolated ourselves from our church family, from people that loved us. If people would invite us over, we have 8 kids. We're not going to do it. Every once in a while, my parents would come out. They helped us out a lot. But we wouldn't go anywhere. We would stay here. We isolated ourselves. Looking back now, I can see we made it easy for Satan to come in and lie to us. We were isolated. When I thought about, well, we need to get out of foster care to protect my family, I didn't seek wise counsel. I didn't talk to my pastor. I didn't talk to friends that I have that are in the Word and that are close to God. I didn't speak with anybody. I just made the decision like that, called up the caseworkers, and it was done. That's not wise of me to do that. That I wasn't leading my family wisely. I wasn't trusting the Lord. I wasn't fearing him. I was fearing people. I was fearing man. And so that's my story of fear, of what happened when I feared man instead of God, when Satan snuck in there and lied to me. And we were on this great mission doing, I felt like, really good things. And Satan snuck in there, lied to me, and within a month of feeling that way, everybody was gone, and that mission that we were on was, we didn't want to be on it anymore. And I still, through all of that, didn't seek wise counsel. I'm learning, growing now. I didn't think, I thought I was good, but, and I think even that's prideful and arrogant. Well, I'm good. I'm in the Word. I'm trusting God. Well, clearly I wasn't. And it was evident in what happened and where we are now. So now we're trusting God. Again, we're fearing. We're back on mission, trying to get more kids. But like I said, it's, now it's me asking God for forgiveness, saying we're ready for more kids when you want to bring them. And he's probably saying, well, I did. I brought you 8. I brought you 5, Dan, and you got rid of all of them. How do I know you're not going to do that again? How do I know? I don't know. I'm human. I sin. And I ask for forgiveness, and I just pray that he gives us another chance. So that's it. That's my story. I hope that helps somebody. I hope you can learn something from there and see how quickly and how easily Satan can get in there and lie to us, and we don't even know it until months and months later we finally realize, oh crap, I was totally wrong. I was lied to, and I wasn't even trusting God. So that's it. Thanks.